microphone go? Alright. Hey, let's thank.
I had a go about that. Can we boy?
How are you, brother? Whoa. Did the microphone go? Alright. Hey, let's thank. There you go. Let's thank. Ta-da. Go. Alright. Hey, let's thank. There you go. Let's thank. Ta-da. Everyone.
Thank you.
No, everyone's kind of liking the vibe. And the Youre. Now, you may have noticed there's some stuff out the front here. Welcome to Holy Week. It's we're heading towards, it's Palm Sunday today. And we've got a few things on this week, including Good Friday service, at 9 o'clock on Friday morning, where it's just a tight half an hour, where we mark up with some hymns and some readings. So we'll be having a service here on on Good Friday, and then we have Easter Sunday. And after our service on Easter Sunday, there's going to be an Easter Sunday lunch up in the hall that you don't need to book in for, because I don't think we're going to get oversubscribed to that. So keep that in mind. If you're coming on Easter Sunday, please also leave enough room in your diary to be able to join us for lunch straight after the service as well. We would love to have you as we celebrate all that Easter Sunday means for us. So let's hand over to the lovely Lani.
Oh, and sorry, I want to tell you.
You're not sorry?
If you get, no, sorry. If you come next Sunday, you like Easter chocolate.
Oh!
Just in case your sugar levels are getting low, or the doctor's saying your diabetes is under control.
I'll be here early.
Oh, chocolate.
I'll be here at 9 o'clock before they open.
And we have Joyce.
Okay, good morning everybody, I'm back!
Yay!
Thank you for such a lovely welcome back.
We love you.
As you all know, I ended up in hospital on Sunday, ended up in RPA on Monday. Yeah, so I've just got to take it really, really slow and easy. I'm on really strong medication during the night, so during the day I'm a bit like a gaga-lulu. And up a little bit. So
But don't fall over the Palm Sunday palm.
I might move back in just a touch. Welcome to everyone out online this morning on a beautiful sunny Sunday. And yeah, I'd like to do acknowledgement. I'd like to acknowledge the land on which we meet, the land of the Gadigal people of Youre Nation. I'd like to pay respects to the elders, past, present and future, and emerging, and all my Torres Strait Islander and Aboriginal brothers, sisters here today, and non-Aboriginal people here today. And thank you, have a lovely service, and enjoy it at home as well, sing along.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
I think we can safely say she's back.
You are so back.
She is
Thank
back.
God.
I'm back.
Thank God for the
You can't
RPA.
get rid of me that easy.
Never.
All right. We've got the palms here. We
And
can put them back
happy
there.
Wave the palms.
Yeah, laying the palms down. They are spiky things.
Yep.
Those things. Oh. So we're stolen from Centennial Park. So.
But no one needs to know that.
Curated. Also today is, we have the Palm Sunday Refugee Rally as well. That's at 2 p.m. in Belmore Park, if you're interested.
Belmore, Canterbury.
I don't
Oh, no,
quite know.
Belmore.
Belmore Park, yeah.
What is it?
So they use it as an opportunity to also draw the link that Jesus was a refugee. And it's around, I think a lot of the focus will be around how we are treating people who are seeking asylum in this country.
Yeah.
Which is, to say, not very well. Right, those two little girls that have been in immigration detention on Christmas Island now for 600-700 days of their life. So, Palm Sunday refugee rally, 2 p.m. at Belmore Park.
Cool.
So, here we go.
Today.
When? Today.
Where's Belmore?
Central
Maybe.
Railway.
So, right, Belmore Park is right near Central Station.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
the long history of.
That's right.
yeah, but okay.
So today is Palm Sunday. Belmore Park is right near Central Station, and at 2 p.m. there is a Palm Sunday refugee rally. It's good. You're all. I encourage you to attend if you have some time.
Definitely.
All right.
I'll be going.
Let's open in a word of prayer.
Yeah, back yours. At a hospital.
My eyes are not haughty. My heart is not proud. I do not concern myself with things too great and marvellous for me. Instead, I have quieted and calmed my soul. Like a weaned child that knows that all is well when Mama is in view. Mighty God, for the wisdom of that child, we ask. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Welcome We now have, there are, is that some feedback? Is that me? Petition. Right. There are 0 restrictions on singing now.
You're going to regret that.
I was dreading this day. Not at all. So let's have some. We've got all hymns today. So we're going old school. It's Holy Week. So if you haven't had sung a hymn, now's your first chance. But I think most of us would have a level of familiarity with some of the old school songs. So let's all stand up. Just give me 5 seconds, and we'll get it cracking. All right.
We have 3.
I'll be exhausted by the
Kylie.
And somebody else should.
Who else would love to come and sing?
Me.
Get up.
Yay.
These are golden oldies.
Yeah, they are golden oldies.
I call you
Get a
something.
wobble in your voice.
And
It helps hit the notes.
Can't all be sopranos like you know.
The truth is revealed.
What was your next?
Which one?
entrance in the Savior's blood, died he for me, who caused his pain, for me who him to death pursued.
more, Lane, just one more.
Oh, got the moody one.
And by a process of elimination, the third.
Love Divine.
Love
Is
Divine.
this the saxophone? Right, this one's a groovy one. Just to bring it up. Take it up.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kylie. Thanks, everyone.
And Lainey.
And Lainey.
And Andrew.
And Andrew.
And all of you.
Desmond and Tim.
Good, excellent. There's something beautiful about singing those old hymns, particularly through Holy Week. It's that kind of weird mix of kind of, hey, this kind of brings back some good memories for me. Also brings what I call PTSD, which is post-church traumatic.
All those hours.
Just want the chocolate eggs, which happen once a year, but Joyce apparently happens every week when she comes here with Chantel always being in the kitchen. Hey guys, this is life. This is how we do life together. The highs and the lows, the ups and the downs, the joys and the heartbreak of it all. So, there is, I'd like to give you over to the microphone, give you a chance to just get up and say how you've been and where the sun has shone through for you, but also where life maybe isn't going so good at the moment. So, over to you. This is a chance for us to hear from you if you have that courage. Thanks.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Carol.
What?
I was saying hello.
You said hello, Karen.
Hello. I've been for a while waiting for a transfer to a ground floor apartment because I'm having trouble with the stairs leading to my apartment. And I got good news the other day. I got an email from the housing provider saying that I can have a look at a ground floor apartment on the 22nd of April.
Wow.
And it's in the same apartment complex, which is really good because it's quiet and most of the neighbours are all right. So yeah, that's my good news.
Thanks for sharing. Whenever Karen's here, I've got to tell you all, we just got to keep an eye that this thing doesn't get pinched, right? That is her absolute favourite.
But then flashing eyes would be cool.
She's still little red eyes, red lights.
You're just jealous you never thought of it.
It's true. It's true.
Hey, Marty, it's good to see you again, darling. How you doing? All right, you got the microphone?
I just want to say thank you to everyone that supported me here. The day that I ended up in hospital on Sunday by ambulance. And thank you to my good friends here that helped me, you too, Josh, when I was at RPA with my animals. Because without friends like this, I don't know where I'd be. And I just want to say I love you all.
We
love you. We love you.
I love
Thanks.
you too.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yep, Josh is coming up. Come on, brother. It's good to see you.
Yeah, last week I wasn't in a really good place. I was a bit sick last week and had a few up and down days during the week with trying to get some tape stuff done. But so what's happening with tape for me at the moment is that my term 1 has been deferred for next year because it's just been a bit too much trying to move into a new house and trying to get furniture and trying to organise all that stuff and trying to be mentally sane at the same time. But I start back in April to do term 2 and so I'm still going at it. I'm still having a crack at doing a course, as much as it's a difficult level course, it's a diploma in community services, but for me, I have a passion about homelessness, and for me, it's not about, going out there, working in a place like Wayside or whatever, waiting for people to come in. It's about me going out there and changing society's thought patterns on how they see homelessness. See, a majority of society goes, homeless people are either junkies or alcoholics.
Yeah.
They don't see the sexual abuse, the domestic violence and the mental health issues, all these other underlying issues on why people are homeless, And I actually got to spend a day, I think it was Thursday, went and spent a day out of Bondi, Wayside. I never really spent much time out there, but it was a really good day to go out and enjoy myself and talk to people you know, and there's one girl that probably hardly talks to anybody, and I got a 5-minute conversation out of her. So, you know, I just, you know, want to encourage people, you know, if you see someone that's homeless or whatever, you know, even through the rain that we've just had, you know, that was disgusting. Like, you look at, there's like 20,000 people that are now homeless because of the floods and stuff as well, you know. So, like, people take life for granted, and they take having a house for granted and things like that. But I just say, have a conversation with a homeless person, go past, say hello, find out what their story is, and maybe you might actually learn a little bit more and get away from yourself while you do it.
Yeah, just keeping in mind there's, oh goodness, I don't want to get too biblical. What have we had over the last 12, 15 months, right? We've had fires, plagues. Is there still something called a pandemic
Well,
yet?
pandemic is plague.
Oh yeah.
Droughts?
Drought.
Yeah.
Floods.
Floods.
The end is 9.
What's left?
Plague.
If you go up to northern New South Wales, there's mice everywhere.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, mice and spiders.
What sort of spiders?
Mice.
Yeah. What's going on? Right, let's not don't read the book of Revelation
Are
this
you
month,
Jesus?
alright?
Are you Jesus?
No.
Yeah, he's coming back.
You're going to tell us you're Jesus.
What? No. Oh my goodness. And we're all going to live in a compound together. No.
Stuck up on
My
that.
goodness.
Just checking.
We need to really be caring for each other, but also caring for our creation and our planet right now. I think we're heading into some times that waters that we have kind of been told we're going to sail into, that I don't think we learn as humans till we're confronted with it, right? And so yeah, we're going through some pretty dark times. Sorry, while it's important for us to close a few loops here. One is the most important one is Phil, who we've been praying for. Was turned up on Friday. It was a Friday for his final hearing for his appeal, and unfortunately it didn't go in the way we were hoping or expecting, and his appeal, the result was an extra 12 months of a custodial sentence with no parole or probation in that time. So let's keep Phil in our thoughts and our prayers, and if you want to send Phil a message, send it to me or to Graham Long, and we will make sure that we can send him. Keep writing him letters, writing him cards, communicating in there. I know that people who have been locked up, it's some of that communication that people really crave and that connection to him. So let's keep him in our hearts. 12 months is a flipping long time. Keeping in mind everyone else who's in jail as well and who's not doing well too. Our 17-year-old is currently in the Marie Bashir Centre. She got what's called sectioned over the weekend, so hopefully she'll be out again today. But we've got a bit of a long road to walk in that space as well.
Yeah.
So what you said, brother, really resonates around trying to stay mentally well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much respect to people who have to work hard, very, very hard to stay on an education. So it feels like a bit of a down moment. Right? There is some good news. I thank you for your prayers. I passed my exam on Friday. Yes.
Miracles do happen.
Yeah, miracles do happen. Yes, I'm going to probably by around mid to early May. It'll all be official because there's still a few boxes that need to be ticked in terms of process, but the main hurdle was last Friday. Thank you for your prayers. So I will have a license to wear a skirt in church. That's an owl.
We're going to hold you to that.
Oh, we expect it every week.
Yeah, red sequin.
Look, it costs about $1,400 for one of those things. Like I can get a colours and patty dress for cheaper, right?
No, we want the real deal.
Yes.
Hey, John,
Yes.
you have to be ordained first, isn't it? Because that's what we need for grant.
Yeah, that's right. So I had an ordination exam last week and I passed. So.
Yeah, but why don't we do it here too?
We'll bless you.
Yeah, we'll have a... No, that was the exam. It's very different having the after party. The after party...
Are we baptised?
Oh, we're having a party.
And we've got Freddie who turned 60 last week. Oh, nice. Happy happy birthday. Oh, Bob. Hello, Bob.
Right up here.
All right. It's good to have Bob back with us.
Yeah.
Bob, welcome back, Bob. You've missed our hymns, but I'm going to show you the. I'll show you the order of service. If you choose the hymn, we'll sing it again for you. Here we go. You choose which hymn you want to do, and let Brad know. Brad, you yell it out for me. We'll do that at the end. Anyone else got? Let's finish on some good news. Anyone got? Where's the sunshine for you this week, Kylie? You are the sunshine.
Hi, the sunshine.
Only when she bends over.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm actually really grateful because I've been.
I don't know if this is working yet.
Yeah.
So, just with some things that occurred throughout my life, were extremely traumatic and left me having trouble working out when I needed to speak up and when I needed to stay silent. So sometimes it's been hard for me. I react rather than respond. So I'm just grateful that I'm learning to respond and to be in relationship with people and have friendships. Because quite often for many years I didn't have the confidence to say what had hurt me, because I just thought that I was always wrong. It was always my fault or something. But I'm just really grateful that is shifting, and I am having relationships with people, healthy relationships, and it's so lovely because I did feel so lonely for so long. So it's really nice to be able to engage in relationships in a healthy way. And on the way to church, I was able to stop off at my parents' place, which has been a place of challenge for me, and I was able to have a conversation with my mum, and it was just so lovely to just be able to have that. So that was a huge, I'm so grateful.
Thank you. All right. Who's going to bring us our psalm today? Is that Adam? Let's say our psalm.
So it starts off in the bold, which we'll say together. Psalm 31. Be merciful to me, O Lord, for I am in distress.
My eyes grow weak with sorrow, my soul and my body with grief. My life is consumed by anguish, and my years by groaning. My strength fails because of my affliction, and my bones grow weak. Because of all my enemies, I am in utter contempt of my neighbours. I'm a dread to my friends. Those who see me on the street flee from me. I am forgotten by them as though I was dead. I have become like broken pottery. For I hear the slander of many. There is terror on every side. They conspire against me in my plot to take my life. But I trust in you, O Lord. I say, you are my God. My times are in your hands. Deliver me from my enemies and from those who pursue me. Let your face shine on your servant. Save me in your unfailing love.
Thanks, Adam. Have you ever felt like that?
Yep.
We've all been there. All been there. We walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I wish that was a one-time walk. But we know that life is that movement between those two poles of the highs and the lows, the heartbeats. Because of all my enemies, I am in utter contempt. I also would say there is no condemnation for those of us here. You know, it's such a simple, profound statement, yet we don't believe it. We love to condemn ourselves. There was another line in one of the hymns, forgive me for sinning, because it's so much fun. It is, isn't it? But there is no condemnation. Not for us in our sins, but we like to condemn ourselves, but there is no condemnation for God. Let's remember everyone here and those who aren't here who are going through difficult times, and let's stand and say the Lord's Prayer together. And you need to see it, keep sitting. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen. Now turn to those around you and pass the sign of peace. Yes, oh, you can do your piece however you want.
Sorted past. He doesn't. Peace be with you, peace be with you, team. Nothing. No, I've been wondering. Sometimes I play music. Yeah. Which one? Either one. Part of the crowd. And Friday. Is there any more? You got another one? It's beautiful. He's got one. We have, we've got Desmond. He's back to give us some more. All right. It's very academic looking, Desmond. All right, so over to Desmond.
Hello.
Yeah, as long as you speak nice and loud so everyone at home can hear.
Just pull up the pants.
Oh, yes!
By way of introduction, I have many names. One's the Great Desmondo. One is Tutu the Clown. One is The Perfect Clown, which was a Nico song. Anyone that old?
No.
Remember Nico?
No.
And
we were born after the wheel, mate.
after the what?
After the wheel.
Oh, that's hard.
You are spinning them out.
I didn't see that.
I saw it, I got it.
Okay, well, I used to be, before I became a professional clown, I was a psychoanalyst. But things didn't kind of work out the way I wanted to them, so they took away the word analyst and just left me with psycho. So as you can see, now I specialise in trauma for people in the carnival and the circus community. So as you can see this book, just have a peep. Now, if any of these images trigger you, what I suggest you do is we're going to do this as a group. This is my Clown 101 textbook. It's a must. I've got 50,000 copies if anyone, $2 each, no? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to close our eyes. We're going to reach into our pocket and pull out a packet of crayons. Now, any of those images, you can start colouring them in. Just go to the very edge and think of the colours: blue, green, yellow, purple. We're on the same page, lady. Or if you had some sort of experience, as I did with the circus, you can just scratch them out. You don't have to love everything. Scratch it out, colours, colours, blur, blur, blur. Open your eyes. Watch very closely. Are we ready?
Yep.
And now what we're going to do, we have explored, just in this brief workshop of mine, we've explored the past at this point in time as we travel through this timeless land. We are in the present moment. But now what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to project yourself into the future. The future is unwritten.
Which? Wow. Well done.
The future is unwritten. It is impressive.
It's unwritten.
Whoa.
Okay,
No
now,
wonder it, neither.
Doesn't matter what.
now follow that.
It's the
That's
past.
just about that's just about the sermon right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trevor, you're going to take us through the gospel? Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
You don't need them more? I'll just for those at home.
Happy Palm Sunday, everybody. Mark 15, 3:20. The chief priests accused him on many things. So again Pilate asked him, aren't you going to answer? So how many accusations they are making? But Jesus made no reply, and Pilate was amazed. Now it was the custom at the feast to release a prisoner whom the people requested. A man called Barabbas was in prison with the insurrectionists who had committed murder. In the uprising, the crowd came up and asked Pilate to do for them what he usually did. Do you want me to release to you the King of the Jews? He asked, knowing it was out of envy that the chief priests had handed Jesus over to him, but the chief priest stirred up a crowd to have Pilate released and Barabbas instead. What shall I do then with the one you call the King of the Jews? Pilate asked them. Crucify him, they shouted. Why, what crime has he committed? Asked Pilate. But they shouted all the louder, crucify him. Wanting to satisfy the crowd, Pilate released Barabbas to them. He had Jesus flogged and handed him over to be crucified. The soldiers led Jesus away to the praetorium and called together the whole community of soldiers. They put a purple robe on him and wove a crown of thorns and set it on him. They began to call out to him, Hail, King of the Jews! Again and again they struck him on the head with a staff and spat on him. Falling on their knees, they worshipped.
Yeah, that's it. It's a bit of a dot moment. Thank you, Trevor. Falling on their knees, they worship him.
What happens next?
That's right, we're in the start of Holy Week, Palm Sunday. We have the palms here. Jackie went and got with a machete from Centennial Park. So that would be a scary image of her emerging with those palms. But if you ever grew up in a church, you would have made palm little crosses on Palm Sunday. Now, who can remember what Palm Sunday is about? What's the story we're celebrating? Our reading was at Jesus' trial, but Andrew, we're going to...
Is it? Get ready to go?
Yes.
On the way to the cross, people laid down palms at Jesus' feet.
That's right, because Jesus was...
Riding
a donkey. Excellent.
But they were praising him this week.
They were saying, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest.
They were glad about him this week.
That's right, they were glad about him this week.
There was a party this week.
Karen.
Jesus had to carry his own load in shape of a pole. Most of us think it's a cross. I don't know what
Yes. Yeah, so that's for Good Friday, when Jesus was carrying his own cross, and we'll talk more about that on Easter Sunday, on Resurrection Sunday, which is coming up.
That's the time people were praising him. So we're happy about him today.
Yeah, so this
Telling
is
him
the
yes.
final week of his life
Right.
that we celebrate this week as we've moved through Lent up until this point, Palm Sunday, where Jesus rode a donkey into the city. And
Before the
people,
Last Supper?
this is after, no, this is before the Last Supper, yes.
Yeah.
They haven't had the Last
He's not
Supper
arrested
yet.
yet.
That's on Wednesday night.
Okay. Oh! No, Wednesday we're having that.
It's Wednesday or Thursday night. Wayside has one on Wednesday night.
The practice Last Supper.
So this is where Jesus rode on a donkey into the city, into Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And it's the time where everyone, they cut down their palm branches and said, Hosanna in the highest, here is the Lord. But let me say this, and if you get one thing out of this, it's this. God always enters our world on a donkey. Love always enters the world on a donkey.
Are we quoting you on that? Am I Facebooking that?
Donkey?
Pardon?
Did you say donkey?
A donkey, yes. I'm glad you asked. That's called a Dorothy Dixon.
In the word donkey, you got D-O-N and key, K-E-Y.
Yes, that's
Is that
right.
sig- is that
Donkey,
significant?
yes. Go and look up Google Translate and find out what the word key means in Thai. Right, don't.
Thai?
But it also, what does it mean,
I'm
Adam?
typing this.
What does it mean?
I can't remember.
You're blushing at it.
It is an ass. Love always enters the world on a donkey.
Oh, you gotta watch. What are you saying?
I say we are unfortunately a bit like moths, right? We are attracted to all the bright and dazzling and shiny stars in the world, right? And we look to the spectacular, right? We don't look to the donkeys of this world. We look to the stallions and the colts and the beautiful kind of beautiful creatures that are out there. There's this great phrase that says, "Let your light speak." That's a very deep phrase, and it's the title of one of my favourite books in the world, Let Your Life Speak. Only 80 pages long. That's one of the reasons it's my favourite book. But it contains such deep wisdom. It tells the story of this man, Parker Palmer, who when he was 18 or 19 years old, thought, let your life speak, meant what are your highest aspirations and goals and who embodies those? And let's put them up there in bright lights. We become what we worship. And we look to the stars and we idolise their bodies or their achievements or their lives. My room when I was 16, 17 years old was plastered. I used to cut out my favourite footballers out of the newspaper and stick them up on the walls. I'm sure you've all had posters up on your walls when you were kids. Sarah, are you allowed posters on your wall?
Yes.
What have you got right now? Harry Styles?
No.
Who have you got?
I have Zendaya. I also have, I'm trying to get a poster about my favourite band, which is Black Eyed Peas. I'm not I also have a elephant tapestry on my wall, which is pretty cool, which makes it feel very nice. And yeah, that's basically it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's I don't think I've seen a teenager's room that doesn't have posters on the walls, right? We all love it. And because it's kind of what we want to be, so it's kind of what we say to the world that we are going to be. But as we get a bit older, we get a bit more sophisticated, and I think instead of maybe having so many posters on the walls, we have people who are our heroes. So for me, it was Martin Luther King, and it was Dorothy Day, and it was also. Were you going to say something, Sarah?
I forgot to say, I also have a picture of me and my grandma.
Oh, beautiful.
I have
For you at home, if you didn't hear it, Sarah also, apart from all her favourite bands, also has a picture of her and her grandma on the wall. Beautiful carol. So we have, when we get a bit older, we have these posters, we have books. So, for me, Dorothy Day, Mother Teresa, a guy called Toyohiko Kagawa was one of my heroes, an amazing person who lives in Japan. And, and we read these books and we say, that's who I'm going to be. You know, that's what I'm going to do. And to our great disappointment, they tend to become the rocks against which the ship of our aspirations tends to be capsized, right? And we kind of, oh, I can't do it. I can't maintain that. Or actually, that's not me. And so we go to our easy thing, which is to hate ourselves, right? Isn't that the easiest go-to? We condemn ourselves. Oh, you're such a failure. There's more evidence of you being a failure. You know, I'm not saying that to you. I'm just trying to echo some of our internal voices and our internal narratives that we have going. Right. See, we become like what we worship. Unfortunately, when we're looking at fleeting images, we're trying to live other people's lives. So the let your life speak isn't necessarily we pick out our highest values and yell to the world what we're going to be. It's more an act of listening. Listening to ourselves. Listening to what, not so much the question. The question then moves from not do I want to do with life, but what does life want to do with me? How am I shaped? And the gift that can be is I can realise that by aspiring and failing, I can find my own values. You know, there's a big difference between being good at your job, a big soul-splitting difference between being good at your job and actually being aligned with your purpose and what you're meant to be doing in life. Right. Two very different things. How do we continue to seek out and find our purpose? We become like what we worship. And so, you know, that's why we often worship these kind of strange images of God, where even though we know with our heads that this whole story plays out in the Middle East, you know, think about Syria and Egypt and those kinds of regions of this world, yet we still choose to put a blue-haired, blonde-eyed Jesus up on the cross, and usually zero emotion in his face in most of those images we have. In fact, I often get people to write me people often write me beautiful cards, pass these around, and just have a look at this kind of image, right? There's absolutely zero passion on that guy's face, right? It's just this kind of stone cold...
Very Anglo?
Very Anglo, blonde-haired, blue-eyed. You know what? You would have known something was up if in the Middle East you gave birth to a blonde-haired, blue-eyed child.
Yeah, this guy does not belong there.
It would have freaked you out completely. You would have known. And Taz has this beautiful blonde hair.
Yeah, Taz is not
I haven't blue eyes.
Yeah, but you're nearly there.
I'll go back.
Keep your glasses on.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. But that's the kind of image we have of God, and that's what we think. You know, so often we put a bit too much pressure on God. We say, God, you should have fixed this. You should have changed this. You know, if you're really in control, you should have done this. When actually this whole procession of Jesus on a donkey was a complete act of political theatre. Because Jesus entered in from the eastern side of the city. But actually on the western side, this whole story was written in contrast that we kind of miss now that we're not steeped in that culture, is that was the day that the emperor used to come into the city as well, from the other side of the town, on a stallion with a parade. And everyone would say, praise the Lord. You are the Lord of all, Caesar. Right. And it would have been in this big, big ceremony. And let me just remind you of a few things, right? Here we have the person who was thought to be the image of God on earth, right? Power, dominance, Caesar. He didn't care about you, he just wanted you to pay your taxes, right? And he wanted your complete allegiance, and if you didn't give that allegiance, you would be killed. So when you saw this person, of course, you would have worshipped, but you would have been terrified as well of saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing. And you would have had to have not been you would have had to have bended yourself to the will of the one. And hello, Karen. Thank you very much.
This one, may I say?
Oh, yes.
Norwegian warrior.
Mm. Yeah, very good. It is a very Norwegian type of tribute. That's why I love those two prayers in Talladega Nights where they're praying to Jesus, because I like to think of my Jesus as a 2-year-old baby. Or in 21 Jump Street where the guy's praying to Korean Jesus. It's one of the greatest scenes ever. Anyway, where was I? I was on a roll and then my momentum's been broken.
East-West.
Yeah, East-West. So there was this counter parade going on, right, at the time. And it was about worship and fear and allegiance. Would we have noticed the other person coming in on a donkey? I don't think we would. Love always enters this world on a donkey, in the mundane. You know, we often think, you know, oh God, you should have done this, you know, you should have helped, or I should have been sober. But the love that comes in on a donkey is the one that sees you and knows the little steps you make towards sobriety, towards a better life, towards a life of freedom. The little things that you do out of the view of the spotlight. When the music fades and everything is stripped away and we just bring ourselves humbly in brokenness, that we can love. Love will be not a victory march, but a cold and broken hallelujah. It'll happen as you send a message to Phil through the next 12 months of his life. When we care for Diane through this time as well. It came in the form of Marcus and Byron and Janet and Joe feeding birds and cats last week, right? Those little things where we care for each other, where we love each other, where someone is unwell and we look after their pets for a few days, where we remember each other, where, you know, you wake up in the middle of the night and you say, I haven't seen so-and-so for a few weeks, so you send them a message. That's where love enters the world on a donkey, in a text message late at night saying, hey, haven't seen you, I'm thinking about you, how are you? And that's how we become God for someone. We share in that task together. So love always enters this world on a donkey. We become what we worship. So let's remember, there was a very disappointing image. So this whole story that we've read in the Gospels that Trevor read was about Barabbas. So it gets to the trial and he says, do you want Jesus to be released or Barabbas? And there's one thing I need to share here is their real names. So Bar means son of. So you have Jesus, Jesus Barabbas. So Barabbas, and that's the one they let go. He was a zealot, which means he was part of the violent resistance. So he was going to get Jerusalem free of Rome's rule through acts of terrorism, through killing, through, so they used to have, the Sicarii actually come from them. Have you heard of the Sicarii? They were the ones that used to, in marketplaces, assassinate you. They used to have these kind of swords and they would just cut your throat out, scimitars, that's the one. Right? They were the ones who would come and commit political assassinations. Jesus Bar Barabbas. Then we have Jesus Bar Abba, right? Jesus, the Son of the Father. And the question was asked to the crowd, which Jesus do you want? Which Jesus do you want? And the whole crowd sang, we want the killer. We don't want the one that comes in love, the one that arrives on a donkey, the one that shows us the path of compassion, of littleness, of smallness, the one that sees us. You could have seen Jesus on the donkey arrive and you would not have seen Caesar. He wouldn't have been looking at you. But you can walk up to a donkey and walk alongside it. Which Jesus do we choose? The one that doesn't care for us, the one that causes chaos. That's the one we always choose, we prefer, sadly. And we choose the one that arrives in humility on a donkey, the one who loves us. We become what we worship. Let our lives speak. We would not be here if it wasn't for the way of the donkey. Wayside exists because the founding couple said we need to care for those elderly people who are living in the squats around these neighbourhoods. We're going to take our love and care for them. We need to care for the young people who are falling into drug abuse and patterns through this. And that is a legacy we take forward today. How do we go out and care for those people who would be on the wrong side of the track and extend to them the love, care and compassion that only arrives on the donkey. So let's continue to remember that love only comes into this world on a donkey. Now, it's so good to have Bob here. Let's finish off. This is our peanut. Let's all stand up and be in a peanut together. But let's sing When I Survey the Wondrous Cross.
In a peanut.
In a peanut. In a peanut.
Is this happening? Sorry, I didn't realise you were doing that. There we go.
Sing it nice and loud.
Sway. The worst it did.
When I survey.
When I survey the wondrous cross, on which the Prince of Glory died, my riches gain I have lost, and for content see from his head, his hands, his feet, sorrow and love mingled down. Did such love and sorrow meet? Thorns come rose so rich a crown. Where the whole round of nature mine, that were a hazard far too small. Love so amazing, so divine, deep as my soul, my life, my all.
Thank you. May you go in peace to love and serve the Lord in the name of Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Now, please, here is the offering. Can you take it around for us, please? Is that all right? Also, stick around, share some lunch. Also, talk to Bob. You want to know demanding your life, your all. Bob was on our board for 53 years. Is that right, Bob? Correct. Bob was there right at the start, and he is new Ted Knoxwell, and he's a whippersnapper at 94 years old now, Bob.
Wow!
94. Wow. Go and say hello to Bob. Thanks, Bob. Everyone stick around. Now, Andrew, let's turn on those lights.
That'll look better in the dark.
And I'm following him too.
Thanks, John. Yeah, thanks, mate. Thank you for your amazing magic tricks.
Aren't they awesome?
Yeah, it was. That was impressive. That was serious. Seems like she's going to be there.
Yes, it was amazing.
amazing. No, I thought you did really, really well. Yeah. It's next week.
Hey, Mark. Hello, Trevor. Good job with the sound, right?
This is my daughter, Jordan.
No, the gospel. No, the gospel.
You made him up.
Yeah.
Tell her I got a call last night from her.
Yeah.
And then I lost the number of the phone.
You want me to send her number?
So she's got my number.
Okay.
I tell her I couldn't get back to her because I was up with my phone.
Do you want to talk to her now? Oh, we can either way. Whatever.
No, you just
Yeah? Oh, I'll just tell her.
Yeah, just send me one.
Remind me to call
I'm not up to date with this haircut thing. I've got a name on it. And then the number to you.
It's not that.
No, you're wrong. Bad.
We're doing this legal, you'll have to come up with a
Bad.
Sorry.
Oh, love it.